Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. I want to run through a few tips, kind of some clarification, what you can skip solo, what you need groups for, what you need to own to be able to accomplish the Moments of Triumph Seal MMXXI for 2021. Now, as of recording this video on like January 3rd, you're going to have about a month and a half-ish, a little more, to be able to complete these. But I will tell you, the Moments of Triumph is designed for people who own most of what's happened in Year 4. Because you're going to need Season of the Hunt, Season of the Chosen, Season of the Splicer, Season of the Lost. 30th Anniversary is optional, but you're going to need to do some raids. If you don't want to raid, you are going to need 30th Anniversary, and I'll clarify those when we get there. But Moments of Triumph is meant for people who own most of the year. If you're a brand new player and you're just like, hey, let me play for free, see if I like this, this is probably not something you're trying to do unless you bought the deluxe edition of, you know, this year and you're trying to play through everything, catch up on the story. It's actually a very good year for story, so if you haven't done it yet, you've got, you know, some story stuff you want to catch up on, now's a good time to go through and experience some of the better storytelling Destiny's had. These up top are rewards. Emblem, Sparrow, Shell, T-shirt, all that stuff's fine. Triumphs, both 10,000 and 15,000 score. Basically, just go look at the game. If you go through and do a lot of these things, it's naturally going to happen. But again, if you need certain triumphs to get to a score, go look and see what you haven't done, whether it's use certain types of weapons, play certain types of matches. A bunch of different stuff in the game that you can earn medals from. Just look through of what's available. You should be able to get these done, especially if you go through and do all of the stuff I'm going to cover. Vault of Glass. It is a free raid, but you do have to do a raid. So you're going to either have to look for friends. If you've got them, look on LFG, find a streamer who's chirping, whatever it may be. You do have to do a raid for a couple of these. Complete the coup de grace mission. This is the final mission in Season of the Hunt. It is right here. You have to configure your lure, so I think you have to go through most of the steps of the quest. Nice thing is, if you're playing like older seasons, but you're still playing through them now, you can knock most of a season out pretty much straight in a row, like all the steps of a quest you can do in one day. You don't have to wait for the weeks like we did. The coup de grace is basically the last mission in Season of the Hunt. You defeat the High Celebrant, and you have a chance at a ship, and that's mostly it. So that's the coup de grace mission. When it comes to Path of the Chosen, complete all the storyline quests. Walk the True Path, complete all the Splicer quests. Seeker of the Lost, complete all the Voyage. It's like the Compass or the Wayfinder's Voyage. Complete all the season quests. All of those you can see. You can only skip 2 triumphs to be able to get this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Already tells you you're going to need to own the seasons. That's why I was trying to make that clarification. Next, we come to the pursuit weapons and defeating targets with those. Your pursuit weapons are Adored, Salvager Salvo, Null Composure, and Ascendancy. Ascendancy is a rocket launcher, came from this season. My advice is once you grind for it, put it in your heavy slot as you're working on these and just leave it there because it's the only heavy. Then you have Adored, Salvager Salvo, and Null Composure. They are all energy weapons. When you are going through the strikes in Gambit, my advice is Salvager Salvo because, and that's me being comfortable with the grenade launcher. If you prefer Null Composure, go with that one, but my advice is probably not Adored just because you're going to be able to get more group kills with the other 2 weapons than you ever will with Adored. If you're running through with Salvager Salvo, Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction are going to be nice ways for you to get a kill and possible multi-kills with the chain explosion, especially on small adds. And then if you get kills, you actually get more than one in the magazine, so you can fire it out twice. So if you're going for Salvager Salvo for group killing, Chain Reaction, Ambitious Assassin should make your life a little easier. If you don't love grenade launchers, Null Composure is a good option. Pair it with Particle Deconstruction so you get that extra damage. And then if you go with Feeding Frenzy, if you get a kill, it reloads faster, which is good because when you have Reservoir Burst, when your magazine is full, your next burst deals additional damage and causes things to explode. So again, fire at a group of enemies, get them to explode and kill each other. You're going to be doing this faster. Whatever you're running here in this energy slot, make sure you're running things like Grenade Launcher Scavenger, Grenade Launcher Reserves, Grenade Launcher Ammo Finder, and then Rocket Launcher for everything so you can also help out Ascendancy. Same thing here. Chain Reaction, if you shoot a group of enemies, they explode bigger because they chain to each other. And then also Ambitious Assassin, so you actually might get 2 in the clip, so you can fire it faster. So overall, these are good weapons to have because they have quality perk combinations, good for ad clearing, kind of unique perks. If you haven't grinded these out, these are definitely ones you should grind, and you need those specific weapons to be able to work on all 3 of these steps. For the Strike Spelunker, specifically this one, it is playlist strikes. and that only counts Vanguard strikes. I went into a Nightfall, killed stuff with the weapon, didn't budge. So, for the strike playlists, Vanguard strikes. That's the only difference. Is you would think Nightfalls might work in there, they sadly do not. You need 300 kills. If you focus on using those weapons, try and use some scavengers, things like that. Use those weapons a lot. Use Ascendancy if you need to like blow up a big chunk, hit some damage on a boss, whatever it may be. It'll move. It'll take you like 5 or 6 strikes and you'll be good. Because I got a good chunk. I think I got 60, 70 kills. I mean, that's 5 strikes and I'm done. It's really not too bad. Nice thing is if it's arc, you can use, if the burn is arc, Salvager Salvo is going to get bonus damage. If it's void, Null Composure is going to get you bonus damage. And if it's solar, Ascendancy's solar. So you got some options there. Gambit is similar. Ascendancy, leave it on for your heavy. And then Salvager Salvo or Null Composure, whatever your comfort is with. Use those weapons as much as feasibly possible with scavengers and ammo finders and everything. So as you're picking up ammo, you're helping those, using those a lot. If enemies spawn in a certain area, go to that area as fast as possible to make sure you're trying to get kills. This one went from 2% to 18%, and I was pretty focused on killing a lot of ads, and I actually probably got more ads killed than others. So Gambit is going to be slow. It might take you 10 Gambit matches, and you may actually get, you know, other stuff done. If you are spending a decent amount of time in here, make sure you are picking up bounties for any of these places, whether it's Gambit bounties, Strike bounties, Crucible bounties. Pick up bounties before you spend time in a playlist, because you don't want to have to be like, oh, I could have totally been doing 8 different bounties, but I wasn't paying attention. So make sure you need to complete 50 bounties, pick them up before you go in. Crucible. Ascendancy still stays. It's your heavy weapon. You don't get heavy weapons that often, but it's a rocket launcher, so just shoot at the ground at somebody's feet and try and blow them up. My advice on this one is Null Composure. If you're God tier sniper, obviously Adored is probably yours. That's fine. Not my thing. Salvager Salvo I enjoy using even, but it is really hard to get specific kills with. I can wound people all day. Hard to get kills with it, or you're lucky if you do. Null Composure, you might have to practice with a fusion rifle in PvP, but in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be, I think, the most viable energy weapon for you to use here, and then find a primary that works for you. Trials wins. Don't skip this one. Everybody can jump in. It's just on the weekends, so find a weekend, and you only need 7 rounds. It is not matches. Matches are best of 5, or best of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But either way, it's best of 9. So if you get 5 rounds, that's 5 of 7. You can do this in 2 matches of trials if you win 7 rounds in each. Or if you play 7 matches and win 1 round in each, you're done. Don't skip this one. Don't think about skipping this one. Spend a little time in trials. I know it's PvP, but practice in here. Put some time in trials. You may like it. And there's some good weapons you can get from there. If you get some reputation, cool. Nightfall Strikes. For this one, this is bonus progress for higher Nightfall Strikes. The biggest thing I can tell you, do the match-made one that is, especially unless you have friends. If you got friends that are higher levels, this is probably going to get you 20% progress. This one might get you 30. I don't know. Maybe it's 25. But this one is still going to get you 15% progress. You have to do 7 of them over the course of a month and a half. 1 a week, and you're basically good. But the idea here is pay attention to the mods. Champion, Unstoppable, Overload is this week, whatever they are. But it is match-made, so you can jump in, whether it's weird hours, nobody's on, go do a couple match-made Nightfalls, make some progress. Not that difficult, just make sure you jump up from Adept to at least Hero, so it goes faster. 50 bounties, I covered that one. Dares of Eternity, everybody can play this. You gotta defeat the final boss 20 times. You are going to need to do at least 20 Dares of Eternity. If you're going for the Forerunner Catalyst, you have to do a crap load more than this, so 20 is not going to be a big deal. Star Horse bounties. Star Horse bounties overall are not that difficult on the low level. The ones where you need 160,000 points and then say auto rifle kills. But the key is it's auto rifle kills or rapid kills. At that point, go put on a heavy weapon that does a lot of rapid kills. Some exotics are going to work well. Gallahorn does wonders. We have our rocket launcher that you can get group kills with. Make sure you equip a heavy weapon. Anything where you're getting group kills, chain reaction, Null Composure. If you have Gallahorn, cool. If you don't have Gallahorn, but you played a while ago, another rocket launcher people may forget, Wardcliff Coil. Especially if you get to the second tier of Dares of Eternity, where you can always get the infinite heavy ammo. Something like this, just spray everywhere, it gets lots of kills. It's not that hard to get, the 160k. Just when you get to that second act, make sure you have, jump, use the launcher, launched correctly. And if you have a question about that, I can make a quick little video, but it seems like most people know it now. But if you don't, ask a question, I'll make one. But infinite heavy ammo in that second section shouldn't be hard to get. 160,000 points. You'll likely get more if you're killing stuff. And then use the heavy in there. You'll blow a bunch of stuff up. Not too bad. You just got to do that 15 times. Do a couple a day. Really not too bad. Special guest star. This is probably going to be one of the more random ones. Lightning round. Now, if you do a lot of Dares of Eternity, I've done more than 20. I still haven't done this, but if you're going for the Forerunner Catalyst, you're probably going to end up with this one. Lightning rounds are just luck, though. I've had 2, and I've done a fair chunk of Dares. Hopefully my second one comes, but that's what I'm waiting on at this point. Lost Sectors. This is going to be one where you just have to kind of catch the time. Dreaming City, you've got 3. Europa, you've got 3. Moon, you've got 4. I've done videos on most of these. They're really not too bad. I know Master sounds daunting, but if you've been playing a decent amount this season, and you've got some artifact bonus, you've got some Pinnacle gear, even if you're like 1330, 1340, be patient, they're doable. You only got to do 1 on each location. The issue is Tangled Shore. Tangled Shore only has 1 Lost Sector on it, and then it goes to a different place. So what I'm going to do is put on screen the dates where Tangled Shore actually shows up on the rotation, because we know the rotation, so we've got a calendar. And what you want to do is just make sure you do a Tangled Shore on Master. Everything else you can kind of like jump and be like, hey, which day is it? You'll probably get the rest of them. But Tangled Shore, you're going to want to specifically watch when that one's coming through, because there's not going to be a ton of opportunities left for that one. Beyond Light, finish the campaign. Collect all the Stasis and Aspect Fragments. That's for the Stasis subclass. You're going to need to own Beyond Light. Obviously, again, this is why you're going to need to own Beyond Light and all of the seasons. You basically, if you don't own the Deluxe, I wouldn't go after this one. This title. Europa Hunting Party, very similar to Nightfalls. Basically, when you go to the Empire Hunt, turn it up to Hero. And if you want to, help, pay attention to the champion modifiers, but do the one that is match made, but 1 step above, so you only have to do 7 instead of 10. Deep Zone Crypt, you will have to raid. This is get the Hawkmoon exotic quest. This is the Dead Man's Tale exotic quest Presage. This is Harbinger is what it's called. You have to complete the Catalyst. You have to get Agroceptor and then the Catalyst. This is from Season to Lost, so if you're playing right now, you probably already have this, or at least you're working on it. These are the 30th anniversary. You need to get Gjallarhorn and Forerunner. Gjallarhorn you get from Grasp of Avarice, and you have to do the dungeon. So, couple clarifications. If you don't own the 30th anniversary, which is these bottom 2, you have to raid. It means you have to do Deepstone Crypt and Vault of Glass. If you are a solo player and you do own 30th anniversary, you can solo all of this stuff. I've got a guide out there to show you how to solo the dungeon. Forerunner is free, and Gjallarhorn comes from this, so you can actually get it. But if you are a solo player, don't like LFG, you can skip the 2 raids, but you have to do everything else. So hopefully that covers just about everything for you guys. You're going to either want the 30th anniversary if you're a solo player. If you skip the 30th, you're going to look for some LFGs on raids. You're going to need to own the different seasons because you got to go through all the quests. And again, remember, use the weapons you're comfortable with, but unless you're a god tier sniper for Crucible, my advice is no composure here. Blow stuff up with Salvager's Salvo on these 2. Turn the difficulty up when it asks for it, at least to the higher match-made activity. And then don't skip bounties. If you're doing some whatever activity you're going to go do, go check bounties, pick them up, and get them on your character. Other than that, I think that covers everything. Hopefully this is just a few tips for you guys. If you did find this video beneficial, drop a like below. Leave a comment if you've got questions, or if maybe there's something I forgot to cover that as well. If you want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis, Twitch, it's Ebontis, right here on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. That helps me out, lets my videos make it to you, and helps the channel grow. If you want to support me directly, you can join the channel as a member after you subscribe, or you can find my Patreon down below. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.